Trust me, bro, gear doesn't matter, bro. Just use the camera you already got, bro. Just trust me, bro. I have been a YouTuber for 10 years. I don't know what that intro was for, but let's be real. Doing YouTube for 10 plus years as a full-time job is a long time. I made over 2000 videos. I did a daily vlog for 2.5 years. I used a ton of gear, been on big shoots with big cameras. I will talk about all the gear I used, and in the end of this video I will give you recommendations on what camera you should get. But first I want to share every camera I ever used and the story behind it. So this video is going to be a little bit about cameras and a little bit about my YouTube journey, which started with Samsung Galaxy Note 2. This was my first real phone. I thought that phone had great camera, but it didn't. It had one lens with no stabilization, dynamic range was terrible, and microphone was shallow. But with that camera I fell in love with filming. Even though it had its limits, it was very easy to use, and also it was a phone. But after maybe 5 videos I got my filmmaker disease. Crippling need for new gear. Gear doesn't matter, just trust me, bro. I followed a YouTube channel called DSLR Guide, which recommended Canon 600D, which at that time was $600. Damn! I didn't have money like that, so I bought a used one with a broken autofocus. This camera made my life completely different. Now it's destroyed, it has seen some crazy adventures and captured many memories. I started my career with this camera because I got it used. It wasn't $600, it was $150, and it was the best $150 I ever spent. It paid itself 1,000 times. Finally, I had a flip out screen so I can see myself while filming. You can also pull focus and zoom in and zoom out. It doesn't sound much, but that was a big upgrade. Literally everything changed. Microphone, this camera is terrible, and look at the sound that lens makes. I had to get another microphone. So I went back to DSLR Guide and he recommended Zoom H1, which has perfect recording quality, but I had to sync the audio in post-production. That was a very painful process. So the first YouTube money I made, I spent on Rode Shotgun Microphone Pro, this one. And man, that opened flexibility of shooting. Before that I only shot like 5 scenes per video because I didn't like the syncing part. And now I could just shoot and shoot because the microphone was directly connected to the camera. That's when I discovered Casey Neistat and daily vlogging. As you can see, this tripod, I mean, it's terrible. Don't buy it. After 2 months it becomes useless. Just buy a regular tripod. Man, I made so many videos with this camera. From simple vlogs to horror found footage, music videos, action videos. I was unstoppable. I even participated in a local film festival. I ended up winning first place in experimental documentary, something like that. Funny part was seeing my movie on a big screen. This can barely shoot full HD, and if you want to shoot slow motion 60 FPS, you have to go down to 720p. And most of the movie was in slow motion, so imagine seeing movies shot on Arri or Red cameras. And then comes my movie with 720p and people in the audience are like, what is this? But gear doesn't matter, bro. That's the proof. I could make a whole video about this camera and how much it means to me and what have I done with it. But objectively speaking, it's shit. It has no autofocus, and since I'm filming and participating in these videos, it happened in like 20% of the shots that they were slightly out of focus. It has no stabilization, and since I filmed everything, almost everything handheld, videos were shaky. Low light on this camera is terrible. As soon as it got a little bit dark, it was noisy and ugly. Batteries are okay, but in the end I got a battery grip so I can shoot all day on one charge. Oh, it's working! I miss this. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks. I haven't turned it on for a long time. Battery is almost full. God damn. I love this camera. I mean, with all those bad qualities, I made over 1,000 videos with just this camera. My most viewed video with 5 million views is shot on this camera. And funny enough, I never got negative comments about video quality, because I focused on the audio. Okay, so I built my career on this camera. What did I get next? 8 GoPros. I know it's kind of weird gear progression. The camera is called GoPro Hero Session, and we got it because we wanted to film shooter in real life, like FPS, capture the flag, Fortnite, stuff like that. Editing those were a nightmare, and I did that while doing daily upload. Don't ask me how I did it, I don't even know. These GoPros were cheap, but they had no stabilization, so I got GoPro 7, and I think GoPro peaked at the GoPro 7. I know the newest GoPro is way better, but the last big jump was from GoPro 6 to GoPro 7. At that time I started dreaming about drones and drone shots and the ability to shoot from any angle. I would literally have dreams about videos I already shot and how would they look from sky. I knew I wouldn't use drones that much, but it also wasn't the only dream I was dreaming about. It was Sony a7S II. I watched every review on YouTube about that camera. I knew everything, every menu, every settings. You can shoot 4K, you can shoot slow motion. Low light is so good, you can see better than your eyes, but I had no balls. It was expensive and I knew that gear didn't matter. I mean, every YouTuber was telling me that. Gear doesn't matter, bro. At that time I was part of a YouTube group, which was basically my family, brother, sister and few friends. And my brother was the money guy, and he saw how much I was obsessed with that camera and he bought it. That was an out-of-body experience, seeing that camera for the first time. I humped the camera box. Not only did I do that, but I made my brother film it and I posted it on YouTube for thousands of people to see, including my girlfriend, who is now my wife, so it all worked out. So my relationship with Sony started with big passion. The slow motion, the colors, the low light, I was obsessed. I just went around and filmed everything in 120 FPS. My opinion that all cameras peaked at Sony a7S II. Yes, I know Sony FX3 is a better camera, but it's not that much better. Only bad thing about a7S II was that it had no flip out screen. Later on we got this Video Mic Pro Plus, which is basically the same as the last one, but this one turns on and off automatically, and I had problems with the old one where I didn't turn on the microphone. This is the new one. Here it is. My dog kinda ate it and destroyed it. You can see he chewed through here, he chewed on the buttons. This is the dead cat. Now it's double dead. Yeah, I can't use this anymore. So that was my setup. Sony a7S II with a wide lens and a Rode microphone. With that equipment I had no limitations. And that's when my career peaked in terms of views. I remember opening YouTube Studio app and seeing a million views a day, 30 million views a month, which was insane. And this video could basically stop here. You don't need any better gear than that. But don't forget about our disease. Once you start, you can never go back. But I actually went back. At that time I moved to another city, so I left my YouTube group and also I left them all the gear. Not all. I brought my Canon 600D. I was still doing daily upload while moving to another city and getting another job, full-time job. Weirdly, I had no problem with this camera. It had that nostalgia factor. It was authentic, like a homemade video. It had texture. And since moving to a new city, starting from scratch, opening a new YouTube channel, it was kind of poetic to start again with the same camera. Yes, it still had its problems. I missed the 4K, I missed the autofocus, I missed the low light, I missed a lot of things, okay? I had to do something. So I bought my first drone. This is DJI Mavic Zoom 2 and I could finally film my dreams. All those impossible shots. Wow, man. There was no angles I couldn't film from. And the zoom was so cinematic. Footage looked perfect from it. I barely use it. I try to, but if it doesn't add to the story, I don't use it. So I don't use it. But this drone is love of my life. I don't regret buying it, maybe a little bit. I also got this DJI Osmo Action. It's like DJI GoPro, but it's kind of worse. I got it because my GoPro died. No comments, it's just the action camera. I use it even less than a drone. After a while I stopped daily vlogging. I stopped working on the other full-time job. My YouTube channel grew and I got some money. I guess it's time for a new gear. Remember when I was saying that a7S II was perfect camera? I was lying. It's kinda heavy, and since I vlogged and moved around all the time, it was annoying carrying that heavy camera all the time. So I got small Sony camera. This is Sony RX100 Mark VII. This can shoot 4K, it can zoom a lot, it has great stabilization, low light is okay, and it has flip out screen, and it's really light, so you can just carry it in a pocket. No need to carry your backpack everywhere you go. After stopping the daily vlog, I had more time to spend on the videos and I got my creative juices flowing. This small Sony could handle everything. I had no problems. I mean, it can't shoot everything. For example, it can't shoot 360. So I got this Insta360 camera. I used it maybe in 10 videos. This was a mistake, but I didn't care. I started getting some brand deals. Buying gear wasn't so much a problem. And surprisingly, brands didn't care that I have a small camera. And I worked with some big companies like Coca-Cola. And as I mentioned earlier, no fans complained about the quality of the videos. I guess it was just good enough. But I still have this disease. So I got this old camera recorder. I need more gear. Oh, new headphones. Just use the camera you already got, bro. Yes, of course, I bought another camera. I didn't want to go for another Sony, like a bigger Sony, like FX3. Yes, it would have a nicer image quality, but it would be like 15% better, but the camera would be 15 times heavier. So I bought a camera that's 100 times heavier and has maybe 20% better image quality. It's this one. It's Canon C70. That's my microphone. Yeah, camera nerds. How can I film the camera with the camera? Oh, it doesn't work. It's a camera. I will put some B-roll of the camera. Yes, baby, we are back to Canon. Canon C70 is a cinema camera that is Netflix approved. It has built-in ND filters and you can easily get that creamy, nice motion blur, just like in the movies. And yes, I dreamt about that also. Dynamic range is insane. You can shoot in almost any condition and the quality is straight from the movies. I mean, it's a cinema camera. This camera is overkill for YouTube. It's too good. I even have this tattoo. It's kind of embarrassing. I mean, wait. It's the tattoo of C70, yes, but I wanted to get a camera tattoo in general, just to like... Okay, I love C70, but I don't love that camera specific, but the camera looks good, so I wanted a tattoo of any camera, but I had... You get... I'm not like a die-hard fan of C70. It was just the camera. Just shut up. Who asked? Okay, I wouldn't say that this camera is perfect. It has its flaws. First thing would be price. My car is 3 times cheaper than this camera. Autofocus is not perfect. Sometimes when scene is dark, autofocus just doesn't hit the right spot. The screen of the camera, just terrible. Let me show you. Can you see the wiggling of the screen? Look at that. This is just like tapping it. This is terrible. The touchscreen is great and the quality of the picture is amazing, but just the build quality is total garbage. And I really took care of this camera. I never dropped it. This one, bro, I can just throw it on the ground. Look at this screen. It doesn't move at all. You can't do anything to this screen. It's indestructible. I can't believe that this is like an old camera. This screen, I destroyed this screen. Nothing happens to this camera. Look at this. It's fixed. It's perfect. This one, I did nothing, bro. It's shit. I have to fix it, but I live in Serbia and in Serbia we don't have like a direct Canon service and I need the camera, so I can't send it for months to wait to get the camera back. I will figure it out one day. I mean, I can still use it, but it's just like, bro, I paid so much. Okay, I seem frustrated. I love the camera. I think this camera is like the peak of cameras. It's not that big, but the quality you get out of it is insane. I can finally use my camera in front of clients and be proud of it. I traveled the world with it. I went to Iceland. Everything I shot there looked perfect. I even went to Japan. I mean, why would I ever use any other camera? It all started with an old phone, then I switched to Canon, went to Sony, then came back to Canon again, and in the end, I went back to the phone. I know, I hate myself. I got a cinema camera and I still shoot with phone. Let me explain. It makes no sense. I love this camera so much. I dreamed about the ND filters, the shutter. In the last year, 80% of my videos I shot on my phone. I feel lighter. Like it's like this heavy thing on my shoulders that I just threw down. I don't feel tense anymore. Yes, I shoot on my phone. I mean, the quality on the new iPhone it's good enough. Nobody cares. Not a single comment. Nobody cares. And it's always in your pocket. And I travel a lot. This camera is so heavy. And in the end, it just shows gear doesn't matter, bro. Just use the camera you got. More gear. The end. Thank you for watching this far. I have a lot of experience on YouTube, so what gear should you use? Phone is great. That would be like a level 1. Use your phone. Second level would be Sony FX3. It's great. It's amazing. Next level would be C70 like I have here, or like Sony FX6, and the next level, fourth level, would be like, I don't know, red cameras. I don't know. But I know that you need good audio. Even if you don't use external microphones like I do, or like this shotgun, but even if you don't have good microphones, you can pay attention where you film. If the room is a little bit echoey, if it's a noisy street, try to yell or move from the noisy street, stuff like that. Anyway, if you have any questions, see you in the comments. Goodbye for now.